Our Wendy's Female Athlete of the Week this week, a senior for Seaman girls volleyball, Jayden Brandt. Seaman, of course, having a phenomenal year this year. They made it all the way to the quarterfinals of the state tournament in Class 5A. And Jayden, before we get to your team accomplishments this year, let's start with your accomplishments in your final season with the Vikings volleyball program. How would you assess how the end of your season went and just your overall performance throughout the year?
I was actually really proud of myself this season, especially having to step up as a senior leader and having great senior leaders all the years that I've been playing. They really set like a standard for not only me to follow, for the rest of us seniors to follow. So I think that was my main goal, was trying to be a better senior leader. And I'd say that I accomplished that pretty well. I was also very happy with my stats this year. I felt like I did step up to try and become better for my team. And yeah, I was really happy with the season.
All right, so give us a little bit of a scouting report then when you can look back and look on the great season, 27-5 record for the Vikes this year. How would you kind of assess your game? What are some of your strengths, maybe some areas you're looking to improve in the future? Give us a little bit of the Jayden Brandt scouting report.
So my consistency was my main thing this year to focus on. And I think like I definitely got better, but there's always still, that room for improvement. Another thing for me would just be consistency with shots, like hitting sharp, hitting line, knowing where to go at all times are my biggest things. And then maybe improving my service would be one of my other aspects to work on. But otherwise, I think I'm getting a lot better. So
you mentioned leadership and becoming more of a senior leader this year. Has leadership always been kind of a trait that you've had naturally come to you, or is that something you've sort of worked on over your career that kind of culminated this season?
So in the classroom especially is where I find that I am typically a leader, but on the court, typically I haven't been. So that's what I mainly wanted to work on, was being a leader on the court, not just a leader in the classroom, and expanding where I am a leader was my main goal. And I feel like I definitely accomplished that.
Jayden Brandt is our Wendy's Female Athlete of the Week, a senior for Seaman volleyball. And you mentioned having strong senior leaders throughout your time with the program. What are some of the lessons you were able to take from them in some of your earlier years that you were able to apply to this season?
The biggest lesson I learned probably from our senior leaders in the past is just to hold other people accountable and realize that you're not being mean. It's really hard to hold people accountable without feeling like you're being really mean to people. But that was just one of the main things, was learning how to hold other people accountable without overstepping your boundaries and stuff, and always keeping people up while you're trying to hold them accountable was my main thing. And I was lucky that I had great people to show me how to do that before. So.
And you had obviously a very strong team overall this year and a really strong senior class, plenty of talent all throughout the roster. What is it like to, A, have so many of your classmates in the senior class who are so talented and so skilled, and to kind of be able to work together to distribute that knowledge among your peers and some of the younger players?
Oh, it is the best feeling ever. It's like watching not only the girls in my class, but the girls in other classes develop and get better is just an amazing thing. And I feel like, not like me as a senior, I'm learning from the freshmen, and I hope that my other teammates are learning from me as well. And just that whole collaboration as a team it's a great feeling to have.
Jayden Brandt is our guest. She's our Wendy's Female Athlete of the Week this week, a senior from Seaman volleyball. Jayden, when you look back on this season, and again, it was a great year for Seaman, made it all the way to the state quarterfinals. When you look back on the goals you set for yourself before the season started, do you think you did a good job of accomplishing them? Are there any that stand out as maybe some of your favorite accomplishments from the year?
So my biggest thing was I wanted to make it to state. That was the biggest thing, especially because last year we really wanted to make it for our seniors and we didn't get that done. So we kind of made a promise that we would make it this year for them. And although I wish we could have gone further in the tournament, I was still really happy with how we pushed ourselves to reach that goal, because that was a big goal of ours. And just as a team, I think, like I said, my biggest goal was that senior leadership, and I feel like I definitely accomplished that. So
Now, Jayden, as we look ahead to the future, again, I've said it a bunch of times, it's your senior year, so the next step after high school is coming up next. What are your plans for the future, and does volleyball factor in at all?
So, unfortunately, volleyball doesn't factor in, but my plan right now is to attend K-State University, and I'm going to be joining the rowing team. So, brand new sport, but I'm excited.
How did you get an interest in rowing? That's a completely different skill set than playing volleyball.
So, I had no idea. I had literally went in blind, but they sent me a letter and they noticed that I was tall. They sent me something and said, "Hey, come check it out." So I took them up on that opportunity. I went there and it was something that was really cool. There was so much that went into it that I would not even have thought about. The coaches were amazing, and I saw that team camaraderie just by watching one practice, and I wanted to be a part of that. So I decided to just go ahead and do it. Brand new experience.
A new experience, and I'm sure a great one after a great senior season. Jayden Brandt, our Wendy's Female Athlete of the Week, after capping off a phenomenal senior season with Seaman volleyball. Jayden, we really appreciate the time. Thanks so much. Good luck with the rest of your senior year and with your rowing future at K-State.
Thank you.